Good afternoon and welcome to Midday News. I'm Tracy Shilchi and here are the headlines of this hour. Government keen to find answers to problems of the farm sector. Two-day National Conference of Agriculture stakeholders and policymakers begins in Delhi. Agriculture 2022 being held at the advice of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to find actionable ways to double farmers' income. India, a hotspot of digital innovation, says Prime Minister Modi at the inauguration of the World Congress on Information Technology in Hyderabad, says skilling the youth for workplace of future now a global requirement. Calls for use of technology for public good to deliver lasting prosperity. CBI questions Rotomac pen promoter Vikram Kothari, his wife and son. FIR registered against the businessman. Bank of Baroda alleges he swindled over 800 crore rupees. Meghalaya NCP candidate Jonathan N. Sangma is killed in an IED blast. CM condoles death, assures speedy justice. In Nagaland, campaigning picks up pace for the polls on the 27th. And India continue their winning streak after bagging the ODI series, beat South Africa by 28 runs in the first T20 international. Bhuvneshwar Kumar's 5 wickets and Shikhar Dhawan's stroke filled 72 runs give India 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. Women's team lose to South Africa by 5 wickets in the third T20. Our top story this afternoon, a 2-day conference of stakeholders and policymakers to address the issues in the farm sector began in Delhi today. Agriculture 2022, that is being held on the advice of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will see brainstorming sessions to endeavour to bring about a consensus and suggest recommendations of doubling farmers' income. The focus of the conference is to build a consensus around appropriate recommendations that will help in shaping and sharpening the vision of the government into actionable points. 300 participants are taking part in the conference. There are 7 focal points around which deliberations are being held at the conference, including agricultural policy and reforms for higher and sustained farmers' income, trade policy and export promotion, and marketing, agri-logistics and agri-value system. Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh and Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar addressed the event today. Prime Minister Modi will be addressing the conference on Tuesday.
गांव गरीब और किसान हमारी प्रतिबद्धता होगी। इस बार का भी बजट देखेंगे तो पिछले वर्ष की तुलना में उसको बढ़ाया गया है और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 7 सूत्री कार्यक्रमों की घोषणा की थी किसानों की आमदनी बढ़ाने के लिए और तुरंत 2016 में एक कमेटी का भी गठन किया गया था फॉर डबलिंग इनकम ऑफ फार्मर्स कि कृषि नीति एवं कार्यक्रमों को उत्पादन केंद्रित के साथ ही आय केंद्रित बनाया जाए। आज़ादी के बाद देश काफ़ी आगे बढ़ा है, इसमें दो राय नहीं है।
All right, for more on this story, we've got our correspondent Arvind Kumar Singh joining us from the newsroom. Arvind ji, after the budget bonanza for farmers, this is a big conference that's being launched now. Give us an idea of what is it that we're going to be seeing in the next 2 days.
ऐसा टीसी जी कि आपने देखा होगा कि जो बजट है उसका पूरा फोकस जो एग्रीकल्चर रहा, लेकिन उसके बाद जो है पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर के डायरेक्शन के बाद ये ऐसी मीटिंग बुलाई जा रही जिसका पूरा कंसंट्रेशन ये है कि किस तरह से जो फार्मर्स की जो है इनकम है उसको डबल किया जाए 2022 तक। क्योंकि अभी तक अगर आपने देखा होगा कि जो भी गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज़ रही हैं उनका पूरा फोकस ये था कि जो हमारा प्रोडक्शन है उसको कैसे इंक्रीज किया जाए, यानी चाहे वो हॉर्टिकल्चर हो, चाहे वो फूड ग्रेन्स हो या जो भी है हमारे उत्पादन उनके बढ़ाने पर, चाहे वो मिल्क हो। लेकिन ये फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा है कि ये चाहते हैं जो है प्राइम मिनिस्टर की जो सिर्फ उत्पादन बढ़ाने से काम नहीं चलेगा बल्कि फार्मर्स की अगर इनकम नहीं इंक्रीज होगी तो जो एग्रीकल्चर का क्राइसिस है तमाम इलाकों में दिख रहा है, जो आंदोलन चले हैं किसानों के, वो सब अशांति बनी रहेगी, और इसलिए वो चाहते हैं कि ये एक ठोस रास्ता बने। और इसीलिए जो 300 लोग बुलाए गए हैं देश भर से, उनमें तमाम ऐसे लोग हैं जिनकी सक्सेस स्टोरी है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस है जो कल तक चलेगी जी।
All right, Arvind ji, also there are going to be some 7 focal points, in this conference. Give us an idea, इसमें से which are going to be the critical ones to watch out for?
देखिए, इसमें अभी क्या है ट्रेसी जी की जो एग्रीकल्चर की जो पॉलिसीज़ हैं, ख़ासतौर पर अगर आप उसकी एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट की बात को करें, तो इस तरह की जो कुछ ऐसी पॉलिसीज़ हैं जो कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया डील करती है। एग्रीकल्चर स्टेट का सब्जेक्ट है, लेकिन बहुत सारे ऐसे डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं। तो इन्होंने क्या किया है कि फ़र्स्ट टाइम ऐसे जो मिनिस्ट्रीज़ हैं, करीब 14 मिनिस्ट्रीज ऐसी हैं जो एग्रीकल्चर को डील करती हैं, लेकिन उसका जो नोडल मिनिस्ट्री है वो एग्रीकल्चर और फार्मर वेलफेयर मिनिस्ट्री है, वो है। तो ये जो है, ये सारे इशूज़ जो कि सेंट्रल लेवल पर जो मतलब किसानों से जुड़े हुए हैं और स्टेट से जुड़े हुए हैं, उसमें क्या है कि पोस्ट हार्वेस्टिंग से लेकर के और कोल्ड स्टोरेज, कोल्ड चेन, उन सब के लिए किस तरह का इंतजाम किया जाए ताकि जो है जो फार्मर्स है उसको रेमुनेटिव प्राइस मिल सके। आपने देखा होगा एमएसपी की बात की गई है।
हाँ जी।
तो एमएसपी को ग्राउंड पर कैसे ले जाया जाए, क्योंकि अभी क्या है कि कुल मिलाकर के 6% फार्मर्स ऐसे हैं जो कि एमएसपी का फ़ायदा उठा रहे हैं, बाकी लोग नहीं उठा रहे हैं। तो उससे फ़ायदा नहीं होना है। तो सरकार की योजना है कि ग्राउंड लेवल पर, ग्राउंड पर जो है किस तरीके से ये योजनाएं पहुँचें और स्टेट कैसे इन्वॉल्व हो। तो ये सारी चीज़ें, इसीलिए उन्होंने 7 अलग अलग थीम बनाए हैं उसमें।
ठीक है।
और ये जो थीम है, ये अपना एक लीडर सेलेक्ट करेंगे जो पीएम के सामने कल अपना बात रखेंगे जी। ट्रेसी,
all right, we leave it there for now. Arvind Kumar Singh, thank you so much for joining us. We'll come back to you through the day, of course, today and tomorrow as well, to give us more updates on this conference. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed on the importance of technology in today's world, saying that technology today has transcended PowerPoint presentations and has become an inseparable part of people's lives. Prime Minister said this as he inaugurated the 22nd edition of the World Congress on Information Technology, or the WCIT, in Hyderabad, that is being organized for the first time in the country. The Prime Minister inaugurated the summit through video conference. He also spoke of Digital India, that he said has not remained merely a government initiative, but has become a way of life. Prime Minister Modi underlined India's role in digital innovation, saying that today India is the hotspot of digital innovation across all sectors. The summit is being organized by the Telangana state government along with software industry lobby NASSCOM and the who's who of the global IT industry in attendance. About 200 experts from different industry verticals, government and the ecosystem will address the delegates over the 3 days of the WCIT 2018.
We were and we remain one of the most tech-friendly population in the world. With over 1 lakh villages linked with optical fiber, 121 crore mobile phones, 120 crore Aadhaar, and 50 crore internet users, India is best placed to leverage the power of technology and leapfrog into the future. Technology has transcended PowerPoint presentations and has become an inseparable part of people's life. While most government initiatives depend on a government push, Digital India is succeeding because of the people's pull.
And the Prime Minister will also attend various events to be held in Karnataka today. The Prime Minister will attend the ongoing 88th Mahamastaka Abhisheka Mahotsav in Shravana-Belagola. He will also inaugurate the newly carved 630 steps on Vindhyagiri Hill. He will also dedicate to the nation the electrified Mysuru-Bengaluru railway line. Later in Mysuru, the Prime Minister will flag off the Palace Queen Humsafar Express between Mysuru and Udaipur. He will then address a public rally in Mysuru in the evening. And now let's get you all the latest on election-related news from the northeastern states. Let's start with Meghalaya, where Nationalist Congress Party candidate Jonathan N. Sangma was killed on Sunday night after militants attacked his convoy in Meghalaya's East Garo Hill districts. 2 others accompanying the NCP leader also died in the IED attack. Chief Minister Mukul Sangma condoled his death and assured that the incident will not disturb the peace of the state. He also said that the perpetrators of the crime will be apprehended expeditiously. The 43-year-old NCP candidate was returning after campaigning when the convoy came under attack. The Garo National Liberation Army, a proscribed militant outfit active in the state's South and East Garo Hills district, was campaigning against Jonathan. Now remember, assembly elections for the 60-member House in Meghalaya are slated to be held on the 27th of February. Campaigning has been on in full swing by the main players, Congress, BJP and the NCP and other regional parties. And development has been the common agenda of all the parties. Here's a report.
The campaign for the upcoming Legislative Assembly election in Meghalaya is underway. Congress, BJP, NCP and other regional parties are the major contestants in the elections. The 2011 census puts the population of the state at 29,66,889.
Meghalaya emerged as the state responding to the aspirations of 3 tribal communities here. So, from 1972, there were efforts the initial efforts were to ensure that the land and resources of the people are protected, and then within the limits carry on the developmental activities.
In April 1970, a portion of Assam got autonomous status, and then the area was declared a full state in January 1972. The state shares its 443-kilometer-long international border with Bangladesh. Despite its strategic importance, development continues to be a big issue. Apart from this, unemployment is also a major electoral issue. Opposition parties are targeting the ruling Congress.
Under the ruling of the Congress government, the people, they have only detected that it's a huge corruption on the part of the Congress government. So today, I have joined the BJP for a change that based on the issues concerning the interests of the people of the state, my constituency in the country. So I have joined the BJP under the leadership of Narendra Modi, that we want to eradicate corruption.
Unemployment का इतना ना एरिया में दिक्कत है कि अब अल्टीमेटली हम लोग आगे नहीं आएंगे, अपना मदद कर दें तो कोई करने वाला नहीं है. सबसे बड़ा समस्या यूथ का है, क्योंकि उन लोगों का कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है जहां से वो लोग करियर बना सके.
The Congress has said that law in the state has improved under its government and the state is on the path of development.
Our main issue is the peace and development. So far, the Congress government has achieved lots of control over law and order problem in the state. If you look 5 years back, the law and order was very bad, be in Khas Hills and be in Garo Hills. But these are total controlled.
The literacy rate in the state is 74.43%, in which 75.95% are males and 72.89% are females.
2018 Assembly election of Meghalaya is completely dominated by the issues of corruption, unemployment and mining. The people of this state are of the view whoever comes to the power, but he should be able to address all these issues and bring back the economy to the earlier pace. In Shillong with camera person Saroj Kumar Das, Ravinder Singh Shoran for Rajya Sabha TV.
In fact, Ravinder Singh Shoran is joining us on the phone line from Shillong. Ravindra, campaigning, we understand, has slowed down a bit, of course, after that incident that took place in East Garo Hills of the NCP candidate being killed. Any leads from the police as to who could be responsible?
After this, the tragic incident of last night has happened, shock waves it has sent all through the Meghalaya. All the political parties are now making their strategy afresh. After this incident, the police, the CRPF, all the paramilitary forces which had been deployed here, they have also to reconsider today. The Home Minister Rajnath Singh is also scheduled to reach for an election campaign for the BJP. And in this, the present scenario, the most important challenge before the armed forces, before the police and the election commission is to give sanguine approach to the voters who are here, so that they can come and cast their vote. This is the most important challenge. But despite of the investigation is already on, alert has been issued by the state police, but nobody has been apprehended so far in this connection. What the sources are saying is that the Garo Liberation Army, which has already warned the voters of William Nagar constituency not to cast votes in favor of Jonathan Sangma, the NTP candidate, could be behind this attack, and they have already threatened to kill Jonathan Sangma, who is getting popularity in this constituency. Jonathan Sangma has contested election in 2013 also. He could manage to get more than 5,000 votes, but could not win that election, and he was working on the ground. The Garo National Liberation Army, they were not happy with him, and that the Garo National Army could be behind this attack, but it has not been confirmed by the police, not been confirmed by the Home Ministry sources so far. Also, the Garo National Liberation Army, which was formed in 2009, the chairman of that outfit, the prohibited outfit, is behind the bars. But despite of that, how could it has been done? Also, a couple of days back, the election commission's full team came here, and they have shown satisfaction on all the arrangements of the election. Despite of this, how can this kind of incident happen?
Absolutely, absolutely. Security, of course, remains a big concern there. It was always, of course, in Meghalaya, and all the more so in light of this particular incident. Ravinder Sharan, thanks so much for joining us. We'll come back to you, of course, for more updates from Meghalaya. Meanwhile, campaigning has gained momentum in Nagaland for the February 27th polls. In state capital Kohima, rallies are being organized in the evenings to enable people to attend it after the day's work. And with an advancement of technology, political parties have shifted to banner campaign displays of the vision statement online. Hardly any posters put up by candidates are in fact visible along the roads and on the walls. And Nagaland is set to go to polls to elect the 60-member assembly on 27th of February, and the results would be declared on the 3rd of March. Altogether, 195 candidates comprising 58 of the ruling NPF, 18 from the Congress, 20 BJP, 39 NDPP, 25 of the NPP, 13 JDU, 6 NCP, 3 Aam Aadmi parties, 2 LJP and 11 independents are in fray for the 59 seats. Voting, of course, already took place in Tripura, which registered 78.56% of voter turnout in polling for the assembly elections. Polls for the 59 assembly seats of the 60-member House were held on Sunday. Both voters and analysts say that this is one of the toughest political fights that they've seen in Tripura's recent history, with the BJP posing a big challenge to the incumbent Manik Sarkar-led Left Front government. Here's a report.
Tripura recorded a 78.56 voting percentage after over 25.73 lakh people exercised their franchise on Sunday. The polling for 59 seats of the 60-member assembly was peaceful, with thousands of central paramilitary forces fanning across the northeastern state. There were reports that the voting process got delayed from booths due to EVM glitches. A total of 290 candidates, including 23 women, were in the fray.
अभी updated figure है 78.56%. 56% है. Fairly, I would say, incident-free था in the time of elections. We have made our best efforts from the election department, thanks to, and also from we got with the security forces, the state police, the central paramilitary forces, and also we also got good support from the observers and the Election Commission of India.
In the past, the electoral battles in Tripura had been between the CPIM and the Congress. The Left Front has been ruling the state since 1978, except for 5 years between 1988 and 1993. The BJP, that polled less than 2% vote share last time, has made inroads into this red fortress. BJP's poll war cry of Tripura polls was "Chalo Paltai" or "Let's bring change." The left government led by Manik Sarkar is aiming for a record 6th straight term. The Congress is looking for a comeback despite infighting. Corruption, development and unemployment, peace and stability were the major poll issues.
मेरा देश को शांति संप्रीति उन्नयन के जो आता है वो उसको वोट दूंगी।
लड़की लोगों के सेफ्टी के लिए स्पेशली और हम सब लोग पीसफुली रह सके।
स्टेट का डेवलप हो, विकास हो, जो हम इधर रहते हैं सब मिल के एक साथ में होते हैं और नौकरियों का ज़्यादा हो। इस बारे में हम जो हमारा उम्मीदवार हम के लिए काम करेगा उसके लिए हम वोट दे दें।
The state of Tripura attained full statehood in 1972. The state legislative assembly got 60 seats and the first elections were held in March 1972. 1/3 of Tripura's population is scheduled tribes. The results of polls will be declared on 3rd of March along with Meghalaya and Nagaland, where votes will be cast on 27th of February.
Tripura has given its mandate. The fate of the candidates has been sealed. The socio-political dynamics of this state are different from rest of the country, as this is the only state to have been ruled by the left government for more than 2 decades. It remains to be seen whether this left citadel remains red or it becomes the 20th state to be ruled by the BJP. Reporting from Agartala with camera person Jitendra Negi, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
In more national news, Prime Minister Modi has expressed confidence that the country's economy is fast moving towards becoming a $5 trillion economy over the next few years. Prime Minister Modi made these remarks after inaugurating the first mega global investors summit, Magnetic Maharashtra Convergence 2018 in Mumbai on Sunday. He said that sustained, comprehensive and holistic development were the drivers for economic growth. He added that India is on the firm path of development.
देश का विकास तभी संभव है जब राज्यों का भी विकास हो। महाराष्ट्र का विकास भारत के बढ़ते हुए सामर्थ्य का प्रतीक है कि हम इस तरह के बड़े लक्ष्य तय कर पा रहे हैं कि देश में बदली हुई सोच, बदले हुए हालात का जीता जागता उदाहरण पिछले 3-3.5 वर्षों की सरकार के निरंतर प्रयास का परिणाम है कि अब $5 ट्रिलियन क्लब की बात होने लगी। दुनिया की बड़ी-बड़ी एजेंसियां कह रही हैं कि अगले कुछ वर्षों में भारत $5 ट्रिलियन क्लब में शामिल हो जाएगा।
Prime Minister Modi on Sunday also laid the foundation stone for the 16,700 crore Navi Mumbai International Airport, which is expected to ease flight operations at Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport. He said the government is focusing on aviation sector with the aim to make air travel affordable for the common man. He said the Udan project will be working on developing about 100 small airports operational across towns and cities of India. The Prime Minister also informed that the government has ordered about 900 new airplanes in the past year as compared to the 450 airplanes currently operational.
भारत के टूरिज्म को भी बढ़ाना है। भारत इतना विविधताओं से भरा देश है, अगर प्रॉपर कनेक्टिविटी मिल जाए तो दुनिया के लोग एक जिले में अगर महीना भी निकाल दें तो भी शायद पूरा देख करके नहीं जा सकते। इतनी विविधताओं से भरा हुआ हमारा देश है। ये एविएशन सेक्टर, इसकी ताकत देश के टूरिज्म को भी बहुत बड़ा बल देंगे। और टूरिज्म एक ऐसा सेक्टर है कि जहां कम से कम पूंजी निवेश से अधिकतम रोजी रोटी कमाई जा सकती है।
The PM also dedicated the 4th terminal of the Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust to the nation, which will raise the cargo handling capacity of the nation's largest container port by 50%. This container terminal has been built in record time of 28 months with an estimated cost of 4,719 crore rupees. The 4th terminal project seeks to double JNPT's capacity to nearly 10 million standard container units and will make it the 33rd biggest port globally. Modi said that the government has started the Sagarmala project to initiate port-led development. He also stressed that trade through sea routes will lead to true globalization. The BJP has announced its candidates for the bypolls of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Bypolls will be held for Gorakhpur and Phulpur in Uttar Pradesh and Araria Lok Sabha seat in Bihar. Bypoll will also be held for Bhabua Assembly seat in Bihar. The BJP has announced K.S. Patel's candidature from Phulpur and Upendra Shukla's name from Gorakhpur. From Araria, the party has named Pradeep Singh and Rinki Pandey from Bhabua Assembly seat. After jeweler Nirav Modi, the CBI has now registered an FIR against businessman and Rotomac pen promoter Vikram Kothari on the basis of a complaint from the Bank of Baroda for allegedly swindling over 800 crore rupees. While no arrests have been made so far, Kothari's Kanpur residence and offices were searched by the CBI in the morning. Kothari, who is the chairman and managing director at the Kanpur-based Rotomac Global Private Limited, is also being questioned by the CBI along with his wife and son. And on to some sports news now. In India beat South Africa by 28 runs in the opening T20 International to take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series at the new Wanderers Stadium at Johannesburg. The hosts scored 175 runs for 9 wickets in reply to India's 203, with opener Reza Hendricks top scoring with 70 runs. Bhuvneshwar Kumar was the pick of the bowlers as he took 5 wickets for 24 runs, while Shikhar Dhawan scored 72 off only 39 balls, hitting 10 fours and 2 sixes. Skipper Virat Kohli scored 26 runs off 20 balls, while Manish Pandey scored 29. India will next face South Africa on 21st of February at Supersport Park in Centurion. And that's it on the Midday News. Thanks for joining us.